Welcome to this, the fourth in a series of 6 videos for Introduction to Music Fundamentals. In this video, we are going to be looking at time signatures. Have a look at the slide that is on your screen at the moment and see if you can work out exactly what it says. Pause the video for a minute and see if you can work it out. Hopefully, you will have worked out that it says, today is Tuesday and we are in a double period of Introduction to Music Fundamentals with Dr. Bethke. But we all know that we don't write like this. We usually put small gaps in between words so that it looks something like this. You'll see that it's much easier now to be able to see each of the words individually. Now in music, we do a similar thing. We group notes together, a bit like we group letters together into words, and they have gaps in between them to show exactly what's happening. So it's an important function of music to be almost like language in that we group things together in small groups. Now, we call this meter. For convenience, we divide music into smaller units of rhythm. Usually these divisions represent the meter of the music, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by meter. That is regular groupings of pulses. Remember, we learned about pulses in the last video, or reoccurring accented pulses. And a time signature tells us what the meter of a piece of music is.
Okay. Siyabona la njengoba sishilo sebenzisa igama elithi meter. Umeter njengoba sishilo ekuqaleni ukuhamba ngesiqi. So umusic wonke unayo imeter ukuhlela ukuthi khona uzohamba nithi njengoba sesibonile ekuqaleni kube nzima ukuthi sifunde leyo qala kube nzima kodwa uthe masayiveza ukulandela ihlukene kwalula nakummusic kunjalo sihlukanisa ngama meter kwibhaku kunemeter. I-time signature le esibiza ngokuthi inkomba siqi iyona esebenza kakhulu ukuze kuzohlele ku-music.
I'm going to try and demonstrate meter to you now using a very famous South African hymn called Liza Lizindinga Lakho. I'm going to sing the first verse for you so that you can just remember the tune, or for those of you who don't know the tune at all so that you can at least hear it. And this is how it goes. Liza lizindinga lakho, Thixo Nkosi yenyaniso, zonke inhlanga zonke izizwe mazizuze usindiso. This particular hymn is by somebody called Tio Soga, who wrote this in the 19th century, well over 150 years ago, but it is still very much loved today. Now, look at the screen at the moment. You'll see that I have underlined particular syllables of the song. If I sing the first 2 lines for you, you'll see that those underlined syllables are the strong beats. Listen carefully. Liza lizindinga lakho, Thixo Nkosi yenyaniso. If we were to count how many syllables there are in between the strong beats, you'll see that a pattern begins to emerge. So look at the syllable lis of Liza lis. The next syllable is I, then di, nga. That means there are 3 syllables between lis and la of lakho. If we include lis with those 3, we've actually got a pattern of 4. Lis, I, ding, ga. The next one you'll see is also 4. La, ko, ti, ko. The next one is also 4. Nko, si, yen, yan, and there you've got it.
Masathatha ukubheka la siyabona lapha kuliza lisi. Mawusuka kuliza lisi uyabala usuka ku-lis uya ngala uno-E, uno-D, unonga. Uma uthatha ukubheka ukubala lapho ku-4 uqhubeke uze kula emva kwala sino-ko, sino-T, sino-xo. Uma uthatha ukubheka ku-4 lokho la kulamagama lawa kuyiwona lawa adwetsheliwe ila sicindezela khona i-strong beat sethu esisenzela kube u-4.
In other words, every 4 beats is going to be a strong beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And in this hymn, it happens on a regular basis.
Masathatha ukubheka la njengoba ku-underline-niwe i-beat yethu yes4 iyona strong beat. S4 not S4 sorry eyokuqala yona strong beat. Uma uthatha ukubala la uzothi liza li sidinga la. Lawo strong beat iwona lawa sekuqaleni iwona lawa futhi azokwazi ukusikhawuntela kahle ukuthi sibone ukuthi kusetshenziswe yiphi time signature la.
So here is a picture now, you'll be looking at it on your screen, of how I've divided the syllables. You'll see that I used lis and I called it 1. I, 2, din, 3, and ga, 4. The next pattern starts on la. La, 1, ko, 2. 3 would be ti, and 4 would be ko. So you'll see that in this hymn, we actually start in the middle of the pattern on 3, 4, liza, are weak beats. Then lis is the strong, I, di, ga, la, ko. Every 4th syllable is accented on this one. If we look at the next picture, you'll see how I have notated this in music. You'll see that the liza, I've given them each a crotchet value, and then there is a line. We call that a bar line. Then comes the 4 beats that we've spoken about, and once the 4 beats are completed, another bar line.
Masithatha ukubheka la uliza usufakeliwe amanothi. Mawuthatha ukhumula nje nesiqiniseko sakhuluma ngegama lamanothi. Lamanothi afakelwe lana inothi siqi kunye. Mase emva kwaliza kunolayini. Lo line webhala kuhlukana khona ukuthi usuqala enye bar manje. Mase kuphinde kufakwe futhi isiqi sinye esu4. Then emva kwalokho i-bar line. Lokho kuyahlukanisa ukuthi kule bhale ufaka into engane njengoba sesikhulumile ukuthi njalo uma ufika ku4 uqala phansi uthi 1. Nalapho uma uthatha ukubheka kwibhayi yodwa sinamanothi awu4. Okusho ukuthi u4 wodwa lo uzohlukaniswa u4 omunye la qala ulakho u1 wethu u4 wethu usuzowela ngezantsi maqhubeka ulayini.
So we have a special name for each of the meters that we can use. If you look between the 2 bar lines, you'll see that there are 4 crotchets. Lis, I, ding, ga. We have a way of naming this. We call it 4/4 time because there are 4 crotchets in a bar.
Njengoba bese ngishilo nasekuqaleni mawuthatha ukubheka lapha eculweni lethu kwibar sina 4. Lokho ukusho ukuthini sisebenzise ama crotchets awu4. Shuthi i-time signature esoyisebenzisa la noma ngizothi inkomba siqi esoyisebenzisa la u44. Lo 44 sho ukuthini njengoba sengishilo kunama crotchets awu4. Lo 4 ngaphezulu iwona osikhombisayo ukuthi mangakhi ama beat kwibar mase kuthi u4 ngezantsi iwona osikhombisayo ukuthi sisebenzisa ini. It's either 70 crotchets noma okunye kodwa kulokhu njengoba ku44 sisebenzisa ile yasikhombisa ukuthi kwibar yodwa kunama crotchets awu4.
So how do time signatures work? 4/4 is called a time signature because it tells us what the meter is and how many pulses there are in a bar. The time signature always comes at the beginning of a piece of music. It doesn't have to be at the beginning of each bar. So if you look at the screen now, you'll see that there is a 4/4 at the beginning of all of those note values. And if you count up the value of each of those bars, you'll find that it equals 4. So that is the whole idea, that each bar is equal to 4 crotchets.
Thatha ukubheka la ukuthi i-time signature yathi isebenza kanjani, inkomba sigqi yethu isebenza kanjani. Masibuka la escreenini njengamanje siyabona kufakiwe kwahlukaniswa ngamabhazi. La eqaleni uma ubona sinawo 44. Mase siwufakile ku-44 eqeni sesingekho isidingo sokuthi ibhane bhasi ofaka u-44 ngoba sesufakile eqaleni. Iyona ndlela u-44 yona ndlela yosikhombisa isigqi sethu ukuthi sizosihamba kanjani. Then yona izosikhombisa futhi leyo 44 ukuthi imona maphi amanothi esiwasebenzisayo kulelo culo leli kuze kufike ekugcineni.
So the top number of a time signature tells you how many you are going to be dealing with. The bottom number tells you what kind of note you are going to use. So there are only a certain number of numbers that you can have at the bottom. And this is where the family tree of notes comes in very helpful. If you remember the family tree of notes, at the top was the semibreve. It divided into 2 minims. So there could be 2 minims in a semibreve. Then that divided into 2 crotchets. That means that in one semibreve, you could have 4 crotchets. If we went to the next level down, to quavers, you would count that there are 8 quavers in a semibreve. And if you looked to the next one down, semiquavers, you'd see that there are 16 semiquavers in a semibreve. So firstly, you have minims. There are 2 minims in a semibreve. Then you get 4 crotchets in a semibreve. You get 8 quavers in a semibreve, and you get 16 semiquavers in a semibreve. The bottom number of a time signature is going to be either 2, 4, 8, or 16. And those numbers indicate if you are working with, if it's a 2, it tells you there are minims. If it's a 4, crotchets. If it's an 8, quavers. If it's a 16, semiquavers. Those are the only numbers you will ever get at the bottom.
Siyabona ke la njengamanje njengoba siqalile nje siloko sisebenza ngo44 namanje kusanjalo. La bengeke ngasho nasekuqaleni ukuthi u4 ophezulu iwona ositshelayo ukuthi mangakhi amanothi esiwasebenzisa kwibha yethu. U4 ongezansi iwona ositshelayo ukuthi imaphi amanothi esiwasebenzisayo. Lento ibuye laphi-ke njengamanje ibuyela kwi-family tree lebuye ngayo. Uma ukhumbula kahle kwi-family tree phezulu sine-semibreve kuyiyona umzali. Mise ngezansi siba nani? Sibe neminim. Iminim iyona ezalwa i-semibreve. Ngokunjalo uma wehla siba nani? Siba ne-crotchet okuyiyona ezalwa iminim. Uma uthatha ukubheka nje wabe sina 4 ngezansi soba na 2 minims, sehle kanjalo sibe na 4 crotchets, sehle kanjalo sibe nama-quave. Lokho ikona okusiza kalula ukuthi sibone ukuthi sisebenzisa maphi amanothi. Njengoba sazi ukuthi lo 4 ngaphezulu njengoba kuwona ositshelayo ukuthi sisebenzisani, no 4 ngezansi njengoba kuwona ositshelayo ukuthi sisebenzisa lephi inothi. Siyakhumbula phezulu bese ne-semibreve ekuyiyona ena 4. Ngezansi siphinde sibe nawo 2 4 njenga ku-family tree. Masehla sisuka ku4 siya ku2 ekuyiminim. Ngokunjalo siye ku6 siye ku12. Wonke lokho kuzosiza kakhulu masingagxila kwi-family tree.
Now, if you look at the bottom of the slide that you are seeing now, it says the time signature is not a fraction. So there is no line between the numbers. Many students put a little line between the top number and the bottom number. If you look at the example on your screen of 4, 4, there is no line between the top 4 and the bottom 4. That's very important to remember.
La njengoba sino 44 u44 wethu awuyona ifraction. Abafundi babe nenkinga yodwa yokuphambanisa ifraction no44. Masibhala u44 asufaka uline la ngoba kuyona inamba. So lokho ngicela niqaphele kakhulu. Le u44 nje awubi nalutho ubhala kanje u4 omunye ezathi komunye u4 ngaphandle kwekoline.
So now we come to a slightly more difficult concept in music. Remember in the last video, we said that the pulse could divide into 2 beats or into 3 beats. Now, a time signature can reflect these divisions of the pulse. Just remember that meter is groups of pulses. We've been working with groups of pulses. So 4/4 time was 4 crotchets in a bar. The pulses were crotchets. Okay, so those were groups of 4 pulses together. That equals the meter. Now, simple time are time signatures which represent pulses which divide into 2. Compound time is when the time signature represents pulses which divide into 3. Simple 2, compound 3.
Njengoba sikhulume ngo-44 niyakhumbula. U-44 na-ke njengoba kade sekuchazile u-AJ la, iy'khathi zethu zahlukana kabili. Siba ne-simple time, sibe ne-compound time. I-simple time la sikubiza khona ngenhlukana kabili yomgqiqo. Then mase kuthi i-compound time ile sibiza khona ngenkomba sikhathi eyingxube. Okay. Ulapha ku-simple time simple time siba nobani uhlukaniswa kabili, amanothi wahlukanisa kabili. Lapha ku-compound time amanothi ethu wahlukanisa kathathu.
Okay, so let's have a look at some examples of simple time. In the first example, we have the time signature 3/4. That means that we are dealing with, the bottom number tells us crotchets. The 4 tells us crotchets. The top number tells us that we have 3 crotchets in a bar. So if you look at the first bar, there are 3 crotchets. In the second bar, we've got 6 quavers. All of those bars are equal to 3 crotchets. All of the crotchets in this bar, or the pulses, the 3 pulses, can divide into 2 quavers. The pulses are crotchets and the beats are quavers. Look at the next example, 4/4 time. The bottom number tells us we've got crotchets. The top number tells us there are 4 crotchets in a bar. If you look at the first bar, the first note is worth 2, the next note is worth 1, the next note is worth 1. It equals to 4. Now, the pulse in this particular example is a crotchet, and a crotchet can divide into 2 quavers. So it's simple time. The next one is 2/4 time. The bottom number tells us we're dealing with crotchets again, and that there are 2 of them in each bar. Again, a crotchet can only divide into 2 quavers. Remember, groups of pulses equal the meter, and that the pulse in all of these examples is crotchets, and the crotchet can only divide into 2 quavers, which makes it simple.
Njengoba sesikhulumile nasekuqaleni nge-time signature, siyabona laphana kwisibonelo sokuqala sinobani, sino-3/4. Lokho kusitshela ukuthini? Ukusitshela ukuthi sosebenzisa ama-crotchets awu-3 kwi-bar. And futhi siyakwazi ukusebenzisa ama-quavers ahlukane kabili. Njengoba sibona ibha yokuqala laphana sinama-crotchets awu-3 okuyiwona enza bani, ama-beats amathathu. Nakwibha yesibili sinama-quavers awu-6. Lama-quavers awu-6 ayalingana nenani lama-crotchets awu-3. Nangonjalo ngezansi ngokufana kanjalo. Siyakwazi ukuthi sibe nama-notes. Ama-notes ethu kumele asebenze awu-4 kwibha. Njengoba sibona lapha sesakhuluma ekuqaleni ukuthi minim, inoti, komba sigqi okubili. Siyakwazi ukulisebenzisa, angithi inoti masokwenza ukulenza libe lide, siyakwazi ukwenza inoti elodwa libe lide. Sebenzise neminim lapha. Mawubona ngonjalo kwibha elandelayo, sinawo ama-crotchets awu-2, bese siba nama-quavers awu-4. Lama-quavers awu-4 ayalingana nani, neminim le besifake ekuqaleni. Kanjalo ngekuzansi, ngicabanga ukuthi niyabona nonke sekulula-ke mawehla. Ngiyabonga.
Now, we're going to go into compound time in the next slide. This is where a lot of students start to get confused. If we look at the time signature of the first example, it says 6 at the top and 8 at the bottom. The 8 at the bottom tells us that we are working with quavers. Remember, the 4 told us that we were working with crotchet. The 8 tells us that we're working with quavers. The 6 tells us that there are 6 quavers in the bar. Hold that in your mind now, and let's think back to simple time. When we were working with simple time, 4/4, 3/4, 2/4, the bottom number, 4, represented crotchets, and the crotchets were the same as the pulse. The crotchets divided into 2 quavers. Remember that? Okay. Now, in compound time, we're working with a slightly different scenario. Here, the bottom number is 8, which is quavers. The quavers are beats, not pulses. In this case, the pulses must divide into 3. So if there are 6 quavers in a bar, that gives us 2 groups of 3 quavers. The pulse is a dotted crotchet which divides into 3 quavers. So the pulse here is dotted crotchets, the beats are 6 quavers.
Okay, siyashintsha-ke manje sesingena kwi-compound time. Lana-ke sifika entweni ekuyona iyenza abafundi baxakeke. Kuye kube nzima kwabanye abafundi. Makukhumbula kahle sibuyele emuva kancane. Seke sakhuluma ngesikhathi la o44 no68, o44 no24. Sachaza ukuthi u4 ngaphezulu omeleni no4 ngezansi omeleni. La sekushintshile kancane, la sinobani, sino68, sino98. Lo 8 ongezansi wona ochaza ukuthini, iwona ositshelayo ukuthi sisebenza ngama-quaver la. Mase kuthi u6 ongaphezulu iwona ositshelayo ukuthi sinama-quaver mangakhi kwi-bar. Mawungathatha ukubheka lento ngithi nje nani ukunithiphisa kancane. I-compound time ine simple time eshade nayo, just for i-practice ngelinye ilanga. Masibheka la u68 wethu sinama-quavers awu6. Mawuya ngale kwi-simple time, mawuthatha ukubheka u24 uhambisana no68. Nani mawungenze njani, mawungaphoza ivideo manje ukwenze lokho, uklephe nje u2 ngesandla ububala u6 ngomlomo uzobona ukuthi kuhambisana. Lokho-ke kube inkinga kubafundi. Mawukuthi kwi-bar yodwa sinama-quavers awu6, lokho kuzosenza sibe nama-group awu2 ngoba besike sasho la ukuthi kwi-compound time si-divide ngo-3. So masinama-quavers awu6 lapho kusho ukuthi kwi-bar yodwa sizoba nama-quaver agroupe kabili azoba u3-3.
Now the important part is that these videos are only a supplement for what you are learning in class. In class, you will have clapped examples of simple time and compound time, which may have made the concept feel easier to you. It's important that you actually start to clap examples of simple time and compound time if you are really going to understand this. So that brings us to the end of this video. In the next one, we're going to look a little bit more at time signatures.